Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I would like to discuss a new foundation that claims to be long wearing and claims to be full coverage. I am going to answer the questions that you haven't even asked yet about the Urban Decay long wearing foundation all-nighter something. What? Urban Decay All-Nighter Waterproof Long Wear Liquid Foundation. So if you want to find out if it was worth it and should you buy it and what my thoughts and experience with this particular foundation is, then just keep watching. So I was excited to see that Urban Decay came out with this particular foundation because I do favor the more full coverage form of foundation. So first let me start with a couple of the dry facts again. This bottle is actually a full ounce and it sells for about $40. Just by comparison to my last favorite full coverage foundation, that was the remarkable Marc Jacobs full coverage foundation concentrate, I believe. That one was $55 for only 3/4 of an ounce. So way more money and actually for less product. And I remember hearing from you guys when I had done that review, which I will link up here somewhere, that you really enjoyed that I liked the foundation, but the price was just too steep for you. And I totally get that because it bugs the crap out of me too. So real quick, let's just talk about the packaging. Holy cow, how beautiful is that? Now, I am not one for packaging. In fact, I feel like sometimes when they go overboard with the packaging, like they build that into the price. So I would much rather have quality product than a really cute looking package. That being said, I don't like cheap packaging either. When you're made of a very cheap plastic or you're made of sometimes even cardboard, I have to say. Cardboard is not necessarily long wearing and durable. So there definitely is an element to the packaging, but I normally do not react or respond to glamorous packaging. This is gorgeous glamorous packaging, which I felt like I had to say in an exceptionally deep voice. I don't know, what the heck was that? This is cool. This is smoking hot. I really appreciate this packaging. Also, it is a pump, which works actually really good. A single pump will deposit the appropriate amount of product for a single entire face application. So like I said, I am definitely into a more full coverage based foundation. And I have felt like in the past, all the other ones that I've tried just kind of didn't hit the mark. And I felt like this one by Urban Decay is everything that I want and look for in an individual and single foundation that I want to be particularly long wearing. Well, what am I talking about? I basically look for two really important things when it comes to foundation. I look for the coverage and I look for the wear factor. So first let me talk about the coverage. Like I said, this is a full coverage foundation. However, this manages to be full coverage without being too thick. I hate to admit that even the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation, sometimes, in fact, I even think I said in that video that you kind of feel like you're wearing it. With the Urban Decay, it's flawless. You do not feel as if you are wearing a full coverage foundation. However, it is entirely pigmented and covers what any form of skin imperfections you may have. For example, I mean, I typically will, when I'm wearing like a medium to moderate coverage foundation, I'll go in with a concealer in different areas for splotchiness, scarring, acne, you know, whatever. I can actually get away with just applying this foundation adequately enough, covering all of the imperfections that I have, but not feeling as if I'm wearing a mask or wearing a sheet on my skin. I feel like my skin can breathe, which is awesome. And I've said before too, I am a tremendous fan of using a full coverage foundation as a single layer versus using a medium coverage foundation and building up the layers in order to get the coverage that you need. It doesn't matter that you're starting with a thinner foundation. Once you start layering, you can very easily become cake face. With the Urban Decay one, it is remarkably thin, yet it is very pigmented. And in fact, that was one of the things they highlighted in their own verbal description of their product, was that it was highly pigmented. And in fact, it is. Somehow they managed to get the pigment in without the thickness that can sometimes feel gross. When it comes to application, I was able to use just a normal foundation brush. I didn't feel like it was necessary to use like my Artis number 7 brush, which is a little bit denser. In fact, I used by Morphe the M439 brush. So this really is, it's kind of a thick, dense brush, but still really soft. I did not have any trouble spreading the product around. In fact, as you can see in the demo, simply applying the thinnest little amount first to my hand and then using that as the base where I would draw product from, I can apply the smallest amount, yet it spreads out so easily and so evenly and gives me full coverage over my entire face. And between me and you, I have a very big head. I have a big face. And so the fact that a small amount of product was able to hit the four corners of my face is really, really impressive. And like I said, it feels really good once it's on. Like I said, the other thing that I look for when it comes to kind of being a home run foundation for me, or a touchdown foundation, is the wear factor. I want to know, how is it going to wear during the day? Urban Decay describes this foundation as a waterproof matte finish foundation. And that matte finish and waterproof combination is what allows it to be a long-lasting foundation. There has to be some level of a mattifying agent in the foundation in order to stay on your face, because when you're looking for a long wear foundation, where you're either thinking you're gonna have it on for a long time, or you're going out to a party where you might be dancing, or the weather might be hot and you might be sweaty, or you might just have a naturally oily skin finish to your face. And so because it is a matte finish, it winds up allowing the foundation to last for a handful of hours. And so for oily skin people, it winds up being really, really good. So for me, I really enjoy this foundation because it does give me a matte finish without over mattifying me and making me look too chalky. However, there is a very important distinction that I want to make here. This is not a foundation specifically for oily skin. It is not a mattifying foundation, which means that those with dry skin, with the exception of like ridiculously dry skin or unbearably uncomfortable dry skin, those with dry skin would be able to use this foundation also, because like I said, it is not specifically trying to mattify extra oily skin. It is simply giving you a matte finish, which again leads into it being a long wearing foundation. So oily, combination, and dry skin folks should be able to use this foundation very comfortably with its long wearing properties. The other thing to mention about the wear factor is it does not get splotchy or dry patchy. Sometimes with the long wearing foundations that I've tried in the past, their effort and attempt to be so long wearing makes them too drying, and then I wind up getting dry patches on my skin. Even though I've got oily skin, I would still get kind of dry patchiness going on, and so I don't get that with this foundation. Also, because it's waterproof, specifically, they're making a big point to call this waterproof, and so I find that it doesn't wear away unevenly also. So there is no splotchiness, there are no dry patches, and it just looks normal. So let me give you my thoughts about the Urban Decay All-Nighter Foundation in comparison to some other longer wearing foundations. A big fan favorite is by Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation. I do not find this to have anywhere near the level of coverage and pigment that the Urban Decay one does. And so while this may stay put, it's not covering everything that I need it to cover. Although many people live for this foundation, and I own it and have worn it. The drugstore favorite when it comes to long wearing foundation is by Revlon. It's the Color Stay. I have long been a fan of this one, but I find that in its effort to be long wearing, it's a little bit too thick. So you have to be very careful that in order to get the coverage you're looking for, that you don't wind up looking like cake face. And this one, in my opinion, you have to be very, very careful and very, very aware of that, because there have definitely been days when I've been in the car and checked my makeup in the mirror. You know how that mirror is like the true tell-all. What is it about the car mirror? And I've looked at my face and gone, holy cow, I have expanded the size of my pores and the texture of my skin by tenfold as a result of having on too much foundation. And so good coverage, you know, it is long wearing, but it tends to be on the thicker side, definitely in comparison to the Urban Decay. Finally, in comparison to my favorite full coverage foundation, like I said, the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Skin Foundation Concentrate, I forget what they call it. It's got a tremendously long, complicated name. I find that this is way more expensive for way less product. It gives you amazing pigment, isn't as long wearing as the Urban Decay, I don't feel, but also this feels or can feel a little bit uncomfortable. I mean, if you know that going in and you're looking for that coverage and that pigment, then that's okay. But this one has a slight uncomfortable factor to it because it really is so full coverage. So in summary, I feel like the Urban Decay All Nighter blows all of the other long wearing matte finish full coverage, perfect pigment foundations out of the water. So I hope that answered any questions that you may have had or didn't even know you had about the Urban Decay All-Nighter Foundation. Please leave me your comments down below or ask me any questions that you may have about it in case I didn't answer all of them here in this video today. If you liked this video and felt like you learned something, then give it a thumbs up. And if you're not one of my subscribers, then I really do welcome you to subscribe. I am on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. If you have a minute, check me out over there. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today and on all of my other videos. I hope you have a really good rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. In the meantime, thanks.